What up, y'all? I'm back with another review, and I'm here to review the newest studio album from Busdriver entitled Electricity is on Our Side. This, as far as a solo release, this is Busdriver's 10th studio album. Okay. Um, Busdriver, from what I understand, like, he comes off as, well, I'm not gonna say he comes off as, he, he he's an OG from what I understand. Like it seems like he has birthed the not birthed their careers, but it seems like he inspired some of my favorite artists that are out today. Like primarily Open Mike Eagle and Milo. He's a alternative hip hop artist. Like well, alternative hip hop artist, not experimental or industrial, but alternative hip hop artist. And yeah, it just seems like he's been a huge inspiration. I know he was an inspiration for Milo. Like Milo said that in an interview I watched where he talked about how philosophy and being rapped about by hip hop artists, like he said that Busta Rhymes was one of those artists who influenced him. And Open Mike Eagle, he's collabed with Open Mike Eagle plenty of times. And Milo as well, and then Milo and Open Mike Eagle collabing themselves. I think now, as far as Hellfire Club, I don't know if Mike Eagle's ever a part of Hellfire Club. Okay, so he used to be. All right, and so did Busdriver, and so did Milo. So they're all former Hellfire Club. Okay, and Anderson Pack as well. Yo, freaking Anderson Pack. Oh man, this whole little this whole little like just collection of artists that are um in LA, but except oh my Eagle, he's from Chicago. Busdriver, he is from LA, and Eagle, he's like from the Northeast, I believe. I mean, Milo, he's from like the Northeast. He's from okay, he was born in Chicago and origins in Wisconsin. Okay, but yeah, it just seems like Busdriver has been such a inspiration, has such an influence on those two primarily, as far as that from what I understand. I'm sure he's influenced plenty of other artists as well. So he kind of paved the way for the alternative hip hop scene, and and he's collabed with guys like Boom Bip, shoot, I don't know, Daedalus, who's I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but he's featured on this album. But yeah, this is 23 tracks long, and it's like 80. It's 82 minutes exactly, if I'm not mistaken. So an hour and 22 minutes. And let's go ahead and get right into this review. The way I have my notes written is funny because when I listen to the album, uh, track 1 through 23, I like the album, but I wanted to see how the experience would be if I listened to it backwards. And it felt more cohesive backwards for some reason. So that's kind of how I wrote my notes. Um, so you know what? Just for the sake of doing this, reviewing this alternatively, just for the sake of being alternative, I'm gonna review this backwards. Like I'm not gonna go 1 through 23. I'm gonna do 23 through 1. Except I don't talk about all 23 tracks. So yeah. Track number 23, the last track on here, probably my favorite track on here. Pull the Sky Closer. This is such an inspirational track. I I fucking love this. Like just just the hook itself. When I pull the sky closer, I paused immediately halfway through this and said, "This is getting downloaded right now. I'm not gonna forget to download this." I, it's just so inspirational. I can't I can't explain just how I felt when I heard that track. Like it was kind of surreal hearing that while I was playing Assassin's Creed Origins. I was playing Assassin's Creed Origins while listening to the album backwards, and just I was at some scene in this game, and the view was amazing. And then he said, "When I pull the sky closer," with that soulful tone, and I was actually looking up at the sky with my character. I was like, Jesus Christ, that Jesus, That was the perfect moment. The next track I want to talk about is Sore Spot. Uh, what I primarily have to say about this track is the very beautiful intro keys that I wish had lasted throughout the track. But this was a good track as well. The next track, fucking, I fuck with the beat. It's kind of slow, but not like a dull slow. It's just it's a slower tempo, but it's not like something you can't keep. It's so slow where it's like dragging along. Like it kind of reminds me of a track that I heard off of. The beat reminds me of um, it was it called Sovereign Nose on your. Milo released a project earlier this year as Scalps Hotel. It was Sovereign Nose on Your Arrogant Face. No, what? Let me see, because I reviewed that. It was one of like the first albums I reviewed this year. Sovereign Nose of Your Arrogant Face. I forget what the track was, but he kept saying it throughout the track. Sovereign Nose on Your Arrogant Face. Dang. That beat reminds me of this beat. Like fucking reminds me of that beat. It's like we fucking in public, we make love with the windows open. I fuck with this track. The next track I want to talk about is Exploding Slowly featuring, I hope I'm saying this right, Daedalus. This is a very calming track, if I'm being honest. Like, the title is very fitting, like just exploding but slowly. Like uh, the track, like I said, it's just calming, so it's very fitting. The next track I want to talk about is Be Grizzled Atur Mythios Take 3. Now let me see something. Hold on. What track is that? That is track 18. Okay, so Be Grizzled Amateur Mythos Take 3. I've been in 27 seconds, and it was cool. It was one of the. It's probably the best track that I've heard that was under under a minute and a half, because um there are like 3 tracks on here that are under a minute. But in all, there are like 4 tracks with those 3 included that are under 2.5 minutes. A minute and a half. And the fourth being this one. So this is the best out of all those songs, if you ask me. I fuck with this. The next track I want to talk about is Tiny Infinites featuring Hemlock Ernst. Hemlock Ernst, I remember being introduced to him. I think he was featured on Milo So the Flies Don't Come in 2015, which I still go back to this day. And it's just cool to see Hemlock Ernst featured on something again. Because I've seen him featured on things before, featured on projects before, after um, I was introduced to him by Milo. But yeah, it's cool to see him again. The next track I want to talk about is Several Friends. Here, Busdriver just talking about, having several friends, but what type of friends are they? Like, what type of friends do you got? I wonder if he's trying to say, like, not the benefit of having friends, a lot of friends, but how many of them, like, what kind are they? Are they good friends? Are they toxic? Like, you have several friends, but what kind? So yeah, next track I want to talk about is Right Before the Miracle. This shit. This is great. This is one of my favorite tracks. I want to say this was a single to promote the album. I think I saw a music video for this, and yeah, like this was just great. Hi, I'm calling out your name in the dark. You're a testament to God. Na-na-na, na-na-na. I'm not gonna lie, this reminded me of For Free, from Kendrick off to Pimp a Butterfly. Like, I feel like I have something on my lip. But yeah, like this was a great track. The next track I want to talk about is I've Been There featuring Keno. Goodness. Kenny Segal and Mike Parvizi. This was a cool track as well. This was one of the last tracks that I actually talk about. I think I only talk about like 12 tracks here, so this is like number 9. It was cool. It was cool to be introduced to 2 new artists. I feel like I've heard Kenny Segal before. Like, not to get him confused with Ty Segal, but yeah, I feel like I've seen Kenny Seagal featured somewhere before. It was good to see him again, if that is the case. And Mike uh, Parvisi, or Parvisi, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It was a good introduction to him too as well. The next track, Me vs. Me, featuring Swarvy. This beat had a nice, buzzy, vibrant guitar. I'm assuming that's a guitar. Like, I feel like that just has to be a guitar. I don't know what other instrument that could be. Like, it doesn't sound like it's live instrumentation. But not like to say that's a bad thing, but it doesn't sound like it was like a live take. Um, with the guitar and the vocals being laced on there. But this is a good track as well. The next track I want to talk about is The Year I Became a Motherfucking G, featuring Dontel and Lord Freddie. Fred 333. I've seen him before. I think I've like posted one of his tracks on okthough.com, or at least a track he was featured on. And this was one of those tracks where I didn't have to wait to listen to the album backwards to decide, not even decide, before it to click with me or for it to catch my attention. This is one of those tracks that I caught when I was listening to it the first time around. Like, when I heard that, I was like, whoa, this beat is fucking amazing. This is a head bopping banger, except it's not like a banger like a Future. This is a banger like kind of like Open Mike Eagle, what he did on Brick Body Kids Still Daydream. What was that song? Hold on. Don't call me nigga or rapper. My motherfucking name is Michael Eagle. I'm from a line of ghetto superheroes. That track was called. Was it Brick Body Complex? I feel like it was Brick Body Complex because I think it was Brick Body Complex. But yeah, man, jeez, this was a banger like that. Man, freaking Busdriver, like, and it's weird because he's one of those artists where it's like, this is my first album from him, my first time listening to him as far as a project. I've heard a few songs after I found out that Milo is influenced by him, so I checked him out. But this is the first time listening to him. But I just had a high expectation just because I see, going into this album, I saw how respected he was and how he was kind of cherished in the alternative hip hop scene, like the underground scene. And I just had a high expectation than I would for somebody who was my first time listening to him, because he just seems like such an OG, and like he's really paved the way, and he influenced freaking Milo and over Mike Eagle. So I was like, yeah, I go into this album with some high expectations, and he delivers. The next track I want to talk about is The Saboteur's Mirror. This was just a very jazzy track, and what he said on this track that stuck out the most to me was when he said, well, he didn't say this. It sounded like he was saying it in a way where people are saying this to him. You can't solve any of your problems with music. And he's kind of like, all right, then. Like, all right, bet. I'd say he's handling whatever problems he has just fine with music. Like, look at his career. And the last track, the last track that I'm talking about, but it's the first track on the album, because remember, for the sake of being alternative, I reviewed this backwards. Electricity is on our side. And I just have to say, this is just a good intro. It does kind of set the tone for this album, but at least I feel like it sets the tone for more of the second half of the album. On the first half of the album, I'm getting more, tracks like Me vs. Me, The Year I Became a Motherfucking G, Saboteur's Mirror. But yeah, I feel like this kind of sets the tone for more of the second half for some reason. But then again, it does kind of it sets the tone perfectly, actually, for Saboteur's Mirror. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right, but overall, man, like, jeez. And the tracks that I didn't talk about, I fucked with Grape Drink. I fucked with Kiss Around the Node. I fucked with To the Top the Forces list of Baroness Nika. Yeah. So yeah, I fucked with this. I fucked with this whole album, pretty much. So I have to give this like a 7. Jeez, man, a 7.5 out of 10. Like this was a damn good album. Like I'm glad I reviewed this. I'm still a little late. Like it's the 7th of July. We're gonna see where if this makes my top of the year so far. I think it's gonna be a good candidate. I still have other albums that I need to listen to that dropped in June. Then I can get to the albums that have dropped so far in July. But if you've heard this album, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below and what you think about my review on it. If you haven't heard this album, I definitely recommend that you check it out. Especially if you like the alternative hip hop scene. If you like guys like Open Mike Eagle, Denmark Vesey, Milo, Hemlock Ernst. Hell, even say MC Paul Barman. I guess yeah, MF Doom too. Like I feel like if you like MF Doom, you fuck with this too. So definitely check this out if you haven't heard it and you're looking for something like that, just something new. And that's pretty much it. Be sure to hit the like button if you liked this review. Share the review. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you like the content that you see. This will also be on okthough.com. So shout out to y'all for watching. Peace to the OKThough community. Yeah, I think I said everything. Check the description so you can see everything from my social medias. Just check the description. You'll see everything down there. And that is pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I will see y'all next time.